Hello, and thank you for watching and listening to another episode of the Podacity with Keita Rose.
Hop up out of bed, turn my swag on. Take a look in the mirror, say what's up, what's up, what's up. Hey, I'm getting money.
Here we dare to use our voices, have the audacity to own who we are, and vow, raise up your roses, we vow to never stop, never shrink, and most importantly,
Never!
shut up. It's just not gonna happen. Like, share, subscribe, talk shit in my comments. Tell me how you really feel. Hit that bell notification so I can pop up on your timeline. Why, what you want to see me? Why, what you want to see me? I'm the best thing on your screen, isn't it? And hype this video up if you can. You only get 3 hypes a week. Spend it on me, daddy. Oh my goodness. Y'all, when I heard this Tina Campbell and Teddy Campbell messy marriage situation, I was floored. I loved Mary. I did. I used to love Mary.
Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just want to praise you. I just want to praise you.
I'm telling you, I loved Mary. So Teddy Campbell decided to go ahead and file for divorce. But before I start there, if you don't know who these people are, let me enlighten you. We're talking about Tina Campbell, and she is one half of the Grammy-winning gospel duo Mary, which she formed in 1998 with her older sister Erica Campbell. The group broke through their 2000 album Thankful and the hit Shackles, which I just slayed, followed by songs like
It's the God in me.
Can't Give Up Now, Go Get It, and Heaven. Tina also launched a solo career in 2014 with the album It's Personal, released May 2015, which charted on the Billboard 200 and hit #1 on the top gospel albums chart. Over her career, she's won 4 Grammys, 8 Dove Awards, 3 BET Awards, and multiple NAACP Image Award nominations. This woman is highly accomplished. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Please put some respect on Tina's name. I know a lot of us have our comments and our commentary, but please put some respect on this black woman, this black gospel singer's name. She is highly decorated. Okay, it says her husband, Glendon Teddy Campbell Sr. is a drummer and musician. He's worked as the drummer in the house band for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and played on American Idol, and is the lead singer for the gospel group The Soul Seekers, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in the video. Let me tell you something. A lot of people have their theories, right? And comment down below what you believe yours is if you're familiar with this relationship. Apparently, 12 years ago, Tina and Teddy had a reality TV show, but of course the reality show was about the sisters and their respected relationship. Her and her sister have been married for years, right? And so in this clip that seems to be going viral now, you can hear Tina absolutely broken, because during the filming of the show, this was when reality was reality.
This was when reality TV seemed a little bit more reality. Seemed a little bit more real.
It wasn't everybody is perfect and their makeup is, it's people in a kitchen sweating after walking 3 miles. Just put the kids to bed and had to find out some bullshit about your spouse. That's how reality TV used to be. I can barely watch the TV now, honestly. It just seems too exaggerated. It doesn't seem real. It's either crazy ghetto, or just we're so rich and we're so, we're princesses and princes, or we're bachelors, or we're on an island and we only met after 3 weeks, but now we're in love and we're having sex and we're in love with each other. And now the public can't believe we broke up after our 6-week relationship didn't work. It's just, what? You know what I mean? Let me know down below if you understand me. But during this scene, she is absolutely broken. I want to show you a bit of it.
If you whispered in a closet that you want to apply your faith to the situation, then apply your faith.
Since then, I found out about more. And I don't want to hold on to somebody who I cannot trust. You see, I have been trying since the very beginning. The situation gets a little...
Erica doesn't look confused. She just looks, I don't know. It's in the middle of tired, and she's trying to find the right words, but she's also trying to be very supportive. But you can tell she's tired of this conversation, because this just strikes me as the type of situations, when you're a third party to a couple who can't get it together. They're arguing, they're screaming, they're nagging, they're fighting, they're bickering. You're in the car with them. One of them is threatening to crash with all of us in the car. I don't even give a damn anymore.
I'll flip this over right now. I'm gonna flip this over.
It's like, I'm in the car too. Hold on. Wait a second. So that's how Erica, in my opinion, is looking at her sister. If you're new here, me and WeTV got big beef. They're always flagging me. So I will unfortunately not be showing the clips, only pictures of the clips, because WeTV has a problem with me. And I got a problem right back with it. But of course, it was filmed by WeTV. And the caption is, Mary, Mary, I'm not Jesus. I am angry. And so this, again, is a scene depicting her true feelings, her raw emotions after finding out that her spouse had been unfaithful.
And then I try to forgive, and it gets a little worse. And I try to forgive. You gonna keep adding people? You gonna keep adding people?
You gonna keep adding people. I've already forgive this one time. I already forgave the second time. I already forgave the third time. But you just gonna keep adding people for me to have to forgive. At some point, we have to say, you know what? You and all your can go ahead and get on with your lives. Go do you. First of all, you know, hi, if you're new here, I'm Keita. We have daily manic episodes, right? Weekly manic episodes. If you're not new here and you're an OG, then you already know. I don't do bumps. I don't do bumps. I don't do lumps. I don't do lesions, okay? I don't do pus. I don't do pustules. I literally cannot. I genuinely cannot. So if I even think that you're even sniffing someone else, if I even find out, I don't know. I can't. Take everything, take the kids, take custody, take it all from me because I am done. I get it. And there's a lot of courses. And of course, we'll talk about that a bit later. There's a lot of courses out here talking about, you know, forgiving your spouse, man or woman, gender. It's not gender specific, or there isn't a specific gender that's going through this. Everybody in relationships have gone through cheating. Either you've been cheated on or you've cheated on someone, or both. But I know that there's these courses, right? These courses that are like how to forgive and how to move forward. There ain't no moving forward when somebody showed you that they don't give a fuck about you. There's no moving forward when somebody has showed you that they're comfortable with disrespecting you, that they're comfortable with you being out there looking stupid. Because 9 times out of 10, everyone knows. Okay, maybe I'm so dramatic. I'm just dramatic. Somebody said, I was getting stretched by my stretching lady, Bap. Shout out to Bap. And somebody was like, oh my God, Keita is so dramatic. Because she was getting in there. Yeah. She was getting in there. I gotta go back to her. When somebody shows you who they are the very first time, it is time for us to believe them. We've had now too many instances where we said, well, maybe they'll change. Well, maybe I'm tripping. Well, maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Well, maybe I would have done what they did if I was in their shoes. Listen, if you do not respect the relationship enough to stay in the relationship and see what's going on with your spouse, with your partner, to compromise, to communicate, right? To figure out what best aligns with your relationship together as a team, go through the ups and the downs, then you do not need to be married. People want to be married for the sake of being married. That they want the title and they want the ring and they want to be able to look down upon all us sad, lonely single folks, right? And people that are living in sin, dating and having situationships and sexing, but their husbands and wives be the main ones out in these single streets. It's ridiculous. Keep your spouse at home. If you are a spouse to someone, you need to go home. We need to have curfews. You need to go home. Everybody is sitting up here, and by everybody, I mean this administration. This administration is sitting up here trying to force people to get married and have children, Okay, well then we need some rules and regulations, because women have been married for too long and saying, hey, he won't come home. She was a friend of mine and she left with my man. I'd rather go blind than to see you guys in love because I thought you were my man. Women have been singing about it, screaming about it, and property about it. This is not something that's new. We already know that cheating, infidelity causes a lot of issues. You know what? Let me just go ahead. I'm sorry. Yep, we're going to do it. Infidelity causes real, well-documented psychological harm to the betrayed partner. And researchers have increasingly recognized that the effects can be severe and long-lasting. Trauma-related symptoms. Many betrayed partners develop symptoms that mirror post-traumatic stress disorder. So much so that clinicians often use the term post-infidelity stress disorder, PISD. Pissed! These include intrusive thoughts and mental movies of imagined scenes. I know you guys know what the F they are talking about here. When you are cheated on or you are lied to or when you are betrayed, you know those mental movies that you play when you're at the grocery store or when you're at your desk at work. Seeing them together smiling. Did he sniff something? Did she sniff him? How does she smell? Does she smell better than me? Does she smell better than I? Did he kiss her? How long did he kiss her? And sometimes the movies, they play so much, that's when you start seeking out questions from your partner, the partner that you're trying to forgive, but you haven't really forgiven anybody because you're playing mental movies of the betrayal. But that's usually when you ask your partner, what did he do? What did she do? Did y'all do this? Did y'all do that? Did y'all do this? And you know what? If you aren't ready for them answers, don't go asking questions you're not ready for the answer for. I'll go ahead and just say that there.
Was it bigger than mine?
Absolutely. Flashbacks triggered by seemingly unrelated cues, a song, a restaurant, a scent. Hypervigilance, compulsively checking phones, emails, locations, nightmares, and sleep disturbance. An emotional numbing and disassociation. The discovery of an affair is often experienced as a sudden shattering of reality, which is why the trauma framework fits so well. Genuinely, your reality, you get up, you get the kids ready for school, you take them to school, you go run some errands before work, you go to work, you do this, you do that, and you're not thinking that while you're doing these things, your partner's getting slammed, rammed, bammed, thank you, ma'am. Identity disruption and self-esteem collapse. Betrayal tends to destroy the story a person has been telling themselves about their life and their worth. Common thoughts. Was any of it real? What's wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? This isn't vanity. It's a genuine rupture of self-concept. The concept I once had for myself has been shattered due to your dumbassery. Thank you, idiot. People often report feeling unattractive, unlovable, or foolish for having missed the signs, even when there were none to catch. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm about to write a book if you would read my book, or at least listen to the audiobook, because boy, have I got some shit to say. Rage and aggression. Intense anger is one of the most reported reactions, and it can be frightening in its intensity to the person experiencing it, right? I didn't know I could get so angry. This has never happened to me before, and I never thought that I would feel so intensely about it, but now it's hitting me. And since I've never experienced this severity of an emotion, I actually don't know how to cope in this moment. I don't know how to cope. You might see me explode. This can include verbal explosions, destruction of property, revenge fantasies, in some cases, physical aggression. Tina Campbell's own description of destroying cars and plotting is a textbook expression of this phase, and she's been unusually honest about it. I think it was pretty usual. I think we need to make it usual about being honest about situations like this. I think the reason why this is so unusual and women feel so crazy and men feel so crazy is because we don't talk about it. This is embarrassing. I will tell you this, and y'all know I will rag on myself before anybody else. I was so mad at a man once, not for cheating. It was for something else. But I was so mad at a man once that I just picked up a knife. I just picked it up. I was like, ah! And then I thought to myself, like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? And then I thought maybe I should throw it at the wall. But then I thought it was a good knife. It's a good knife. Ladies, men, gentlemen, whoever's listening out there, all 10 of you, I appreciate you. Please don't destroy your shit. I made a thread earlier on this month. I kind of get stony thoughts. Somebody said to me, she said, you have stony thoughts. You need to put your stony thoughts in your notes. And then once you come back sober, then you speak. Because usually I'm like, hey, I know somebody else feels this shit, so I want to talk about it. Like, has anybody ever beat their own ass? And of course, I was joking a bit, but also very curious. Like, have you ever popped yourself? How it's depicted in the media is whenever you forget something, you slap your hand across your forehead. You hit yourself. And I was just wondering about it. And somebody said it was called self-flagellation. It says self-flagellation is a disciplinary and devotional practice of flogging oneself with whips or other instruments that inflict pain. In Christianity, self-flagellation is practiced in the context of the doctrine of the mortification of the flesh and is seen as a spiritual discipline. It is often used as a form of penance and is intended to allow the flagellant to share in the sufferings of Jesus. I guess when they whipped Jesus and they beat Jesus, basically beating, right? It's punishment. You did something bad. You did something wrong. You did something stupid. I'm going to hit you. Instead of somebody else inflicting that punishment onto us, we inflict it onto ourselves. If you have experienced self-flagellation, of course we shouldn't. Other people that didn't quite like the joke, which wasn't funny, it's kind of I wouldn't say it was funny. I would just say my mind goes places that I can't explain. But they were like, yeah, that's called self-harm. We don't talk about that. Of course, I understand, but you know what? We definitely should start. We definitely should start. One commenter on my thread was whenever I can't get a hairstyle right, I'll take my brush and I'll give myself a thwop. And I never, first of all, I never read the word throp. I never read the word like throp. And you can almost hear it like throp. I don't know. Trust damages that generalizes. The betrayed partner often loses trust, not just in their spouse, but in their own judgment and people in general. This can persist for years and affect future relationships, friendships, and even professional dynamics. Again, so when we talk about, when we have these courses, when people are doing these infidelity courses, forgive them courses, it's like, yeah, that's nice. But before you go and try to do a course or a session with your spouse, how about you go ahead and do some inner work? And how about you go ahead and talk to the lady or the man, the gentleman, whatever, therapist by yourself? Because you're going to go through all these symptoms. You're going to be angry. You're going to want to be destructive. You might quit your job. You might do something spontaneous. You might do something out of impulse. You need to fix it first. So many times the first thing that we think is, let's fix the relationship. If we fix the relationship and we get back together and we forgive each other, then all will be forgiven and we can move on. No, there's a lot of deep wounds now. You've been stabbed, my love. Somatic and health effects. Chronic stress from betrayal shows up in the body, elevated cortisol, weakened immune function, gastrointestinal issues, thank you, Lord, headaches, chest pain, worsening of existing conditions. The research linking marital betrayal to measurable cardiovascular stress responses. There's research linking marital betrayal to measurable cardiovascular stress responses, complicated grief. Even when the marriage continues, something has died. The version of the relationship that was believed to exist. Betrayed partners often grieve this alongside the anger, and the two emotions can feel contradictory and confusing. Like, I'm mad, but I'm sad, but wait, I still love you. I still love you, and wait, I still want to be with you. What? The effects this had on yo cheating ass is the person that's cheated feels guilt, shame, depression, sometimes their own trauma responses has caused them to do this, right? Especially if the affair is exposed suddenly or involves someone close to the family. Rebuilding often requires them to sit with the weight of what they did without deflecting, which is its own psychological work. Not a day, not a week, not a 3-month course, you guys, work. And this person that's out there cheating isn't doing the work each and every time.
You gonna keep adding people? I thought we had a good life just like everybody else watching. I thought we was the ideal relationship just like everybody else. And I got to find out in front of the whole goddamn world that all of my life was a lie? And you want me to quote scriptures right now?
I don't want you to quote
want me to say what I don't, you want me to say something that's all positive? I feel negative right now.
I know that.
I just want you to understand that.
I know that.
I never kissed another man. I never went out with another man. I never entertained the wrong conversation. I never cheated in my head. I never
Not even in
did
your head.
anything. I was 190% committed to that man. And this is what you did every time I was gone. You stole my life away from me. I'm angry. Why you gotta do me like this? I was good to you, man. I was good to you. I was good to you. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. He don't deserve me. I don't want him. I had hope when all of this started, when I let the whole world know about it. I thought we was healing because he had me thinking that we was healing. You can't keep telling me stuff a little bit. You wait 3 months, then you tell me something else. Then you wait 2 weeks, and you tell me something else. You torturing me, man. You torturing me.
A lot of the times we're torturing ourselves because when somebody shows you who they are, we need to go ahead and believe them the first time. So many times we'll stay with a cheater or somebody that we know manipulates the story, right? Well, maybe they didn't lie, but they withheld the truth and they omitted the truth. And the sneaky, snaky ass people like that will stay because we feel like they'll change, or why aren't they seeing my worth? Why aren't they seeing that I'm loyal and that I'm good? I'm good to you. I'm good to you, man. You having all this sex and going out here, sometimes it can be for control, right? I'm out of control. I feel out of control with my own life. So I go out here and I can control other people's emotions or bodies. Sometimes it's an addiction. I need something. I need to feel something. I need a dopamine hit. And my favorite dopamine is what I get when I, have intercourse after that feeling. I'm trying to not get flagged. I fear I've already said too much. You guys, if you ever don't see me, and let's not even speak that into existence. But Go on down to my Patreon, listen to this episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, because sometimes YouTube's a little bit finicky, as we already know. A person can only change if they see fault in what they're doing. God, if they feel convicted, gosh, I don't like the way that I feel. Why am I doing this? Hold on, let me do some self-reflection. Let me do some shadow work. What makes me want to do this to somebody I claim that I love? What makes me want to lie? Why do I manipulate? Is it something I seen in childhood? Is it something that I was taught? Is it something that I was groomed into believing is okay? That a person has to go through in order to feel that conviction, and then you have to take the necessary steps for the change behavior. I won't tempt myself. I won't even tempt myself with these conversations or these certain parties or environments, because one, I don't have any self-discipline. 2, I don't have self-control. 3, I don't know what commitment is. 4, I'm not very good at this whole loyalty thing. Everybody want to claim to be married. Everybody want to be in a committed relationship. Everybody want a relationship. Don't nobody know how it functions. And that is a mess indeed. Shout out to the Impressive channel. She covered this, and I'm going to listen to a little bit of her commentary.
The show, so they caught her raw emotions on camera.
Well, yeah, it was infidelity on my part. And my wife found out about it, and when she found out about it when we were taping the show, when we were taping the reality show called Mary, if some of y'all don't know, we went through a season of her finding out everything that I had done.
The person who it was, she used to work for me, and so that broke my heart. She was like a godmother to my children. She had access to my home to come get my kids, and I said, "Are you having an affair with?"
This person was the godmother to my children. She had access to my home. So this is a double betrayal. So everything that we just discussed, all the psychological effects that cheating has on your partner, now times that by 2, possibly even 10, because now you've been double betrayed. Let me know down in the comments, if you don't have to get, too candid if you don't want to, too transparent, but let me know down in the comments, have you ever been double betrayed? Oh my God. I couldn't imagine, because betrayal hurts, from one person, but then imagine like my sister, my friend, my godmother. How do you trust after that,
Having an affair with her, and he said no. I said, "Call her." While we doing this, I was like, "Call her." And so he did. And he was like, "Tina wants to know," and da-da-da-da-da. And I said, "Are you sleeping with my husband?" And she hung up the phone, so I had my answer. So it broke my heart. I destroyed 3 cars. I cut up and crashed up and tried to stab and plotted murders and all kind of crazy stuff.
People love to be like, listen, y'all ain't gonna water down marriage for me. Amen. If you want to get married, please get married. Please get married and live happily ever after. I'm not mad at that fact at all. You're right. Everybody should be granted and allotted the choice on whether or not they want to be married or not. However, when we're talking about marriages, we're not talking about those marriages that, people compromise, communicate, where people have ups and downs, and it's not the best, but they make it work because they genuinely love each other and they respect each other, right? That friendship type marriage that we are friends before this, so we ain't gonna do each other too bad. And if we do, we're gonna have each other's backs. That type of marriage. We're not talking about that type of marriage. We're talking about this type of marriage where every other month, every other year, it's some bullshit. No one's ever happy. Everybody around you has to hear about it. Everyone has to hear you guys bickering. You're tearing up cars, property. You're stabbing things. You're going crazy. I didn't cut up a few J's in my life. So yeah, understandably, a lot of people have gone through this, and so we've normalized it, but it's simply not normal.
Because I was angry.
Since then, I found out about more. And I don't want to hold on to somebody who I cannot trust. You see, I have been trying since the very beginning. The situation gets a little worse, and then I try to forgive, and it gets a little worse, and I try to forgive. You gonna keep adding people? You gonna keep adding people? You gonna keep adding people?
That's a mess.
Future Wifey podcast, and they were talking about how they restored their marriage.
But when he said, "I did this to you and I'm gonna fix it," and I was like, "What if I kill you first?" He said,
I don't think it's funny. I'm so sorry. I'm Teddy in this situation that's just looking like, damn, they think this is hilarious.
No. This is what you said.
Don't do that,
you looked at me. You was mad because she was. She looked at me one time. She's like, "Don't you think you deserve to die?" And I was like,
He said, wow.
I said, yeah.
Ooh.
I said, yeah. I said, the wages of sin is death. I said,
the wages of sin is death. I deserve to die. Oop, I did it again. I deserve to die. Oop, I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. I deserve death. You don't give a damn. This is a joke.
I said, if you kill me, I'm going to be with the Lord.
And I'm going to jail, so we're not going to do that.
But if you don't, I'm gonna make this up to you.
He said, if you don't, I'm gonna get you back.
Yeah, I'll make this up to you.
He said,
I broke it.
If you divorce me, I'm gonna pursue you till I get you back.
I did.
Everything I said before this and after this is alleged. Everything is alleged. I be making up shit. This video is for educational, satirical, and entertainment purposes only.
In my opinion, this sounds like when you're finally able to breathe again in my Toni Braxton voice. Breathe again. I just want to breathe again. Breathe again. When I finally get to breathe again, there you will be. You'll be there to tell me how much you love me, tell me how much you're sorry. You'll be there to tell me to take you back, to say that I must have not loved you because I won't take you back. You're going to be there now to destroy my things because I destroyed your things. Get me back, whatever. That's what I hear when I hear I'm going to keep pursuing you even after a divorce. No, throughout this whole marriage, I've been trying to be with you. I've been loyal to you, and you couldn't keep it in your pants. You couldn't keep my marital D out of the streets. So because of that fact, if I ever choose, you definitely should, if I ever choose divorce, I need you to respect that choice. Because you didn't give me a choice on whether or not I wanted to stay with somebody that was slipping it inside and outside of everybody else. You didn't give me a choice. Well, maybe the first time you did, but apparently Tina needs a couple choices. You don't get to come after the divorce. You don't get to come frolicking the around and sitting up here and trying to pursue me after I've left. Let me go. If you love me like you say you love me, then you wouldn't have cheated. But if you love me like you say you love me, let me go. Let me go.
Is this interview was filmed back in May 2024, and a month after this interview they actually separated, and this was in the filing that was posted by Documenting. They separated in June 2024, and Teddy ended up filing for divorce on April 13th of this year, and the cause of it is irreconcilable differences, and also he's looking for spousal support too.
I be dipped in shit. Dip me in a bowl of shit. You dragged me through hell for 25 years. 12 years ago, there is public account of me being humiliated, of me being shattered and destroyed mentally and emotionally, of, my raw emotions. I was completely naked and vulnerable in front of millions of people, and I'm sure she did not get paid enough. And now you want spousal support. Some theories, I talked about theories in the beginning of this. Some theories were that, Teddy was jealous of her. I don't know how true that is, that Teddy was jealous because, of course, we already read that he was a musician or a drummer for The Tonight Show and different shows. Mary, a heavily decorated, heavily accomplished musical group, whereas Teddy is a drummer. I won't, take away from his accomplishments. I'm sure that he's very accomplished in his career as well. But when it comes to making a comparison, in careers, who is earning the most? Who is the most known? Who is the most popular? This shouldn't matter, but it does to some people. That's why I like my nigga low key. I like my nigga low key. Don't look at me. Don't even look his way. Because it's crazy. It don't even make any sense. So now you want spousal support. So now she's supposed to pick up the pieces of her career. She's supposed to find herself again. She's supposed to make an album and make music because that's how she makes her money. Go touring and different things like that. If, their fans are still there to buy tickets and support them. Okay. Supposed to do all that. And, fund the lifestyle of you and whatever girl you choose next. Or whatever girl you were having sex with during our marriage. Over my corpse, will you be able to get spousal support from me? I posted this on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, go to my IG, KitaRose_. And I'm telling you, I posted this there, and people were like, why did she let him file first? And it's like, Tina didn't want to walk away. Tina was going to fight for her marriage. She even said a month before separating, he did whatever, it's that Christian, I'm going to stand behind my man. I don't care. The Lord has blessed this relationship, this marriage, even though we're not equally yoked, even though he's not a man of God, even though we're currently sinning, even though everything about this relationship is going against God's word. Regardless, I'm a Christian. This is a marriage. And we will stay together. Another guy asked me, he commented, I think it was Black Ron. He was like, so y'all are mad because he filed first? Yeah, that's a little annoying. I'd say, but I wasn't quite mad that he filed first. I was more mad at the fact that she didn't walk away 12 years ago when she said she was done and she wanted to walk away. That was your spirit telling you you needed to walk away. But the soul tie, the relationship, the investment, you know, we talk about the sunken cost fallacy of like, I've already invested too much into this. If you've already spent 10 years in hell, why would you want to spend another 10, right? Get out of it. A good business person would know to pull out of the deal before you sink with the ship. That's just common sense ain't so common. So here is Tina's response to all this hoopla.
I felt too condemned because of all my mistakes. Because I didn't get the last test right. Because I was not an honorable wife to my husband because he pissed me off. So I let it rip. When I was mean and intimidating to my children because they wasn't doing well in school and I didn't help them with.
When a man got you really, because now you're doing the work. So now you in the spirituality. Now you a little bit more deeper, a little bit more grounded. Now you got your beanie on and you got your matching set. I'm also wearing a matching set. When somebody got you wearing a matching set with the beanie and all you need is the Black and Mild or the cigar and you're about to really spit some real shit from the heart that people can feel because you're hurt, it's time to walk away.
Last test right, because I was not an honorable wife to my husband because he pissed me off, so I let it rip.
Oh, I wasn't an honorable wife to my husband because he pissed me off, so I was mean to him. But the reason he pissed me off was because he kept sleeping with all these women, and I was mean to him, but I shouldn't have been mean. So because I was mean and nasty to him, or maybe I didn't give him any tatapapatis, because I didn't get any twat pat, because of that, oh, I was a dishonorable wife. Kiss my ass. I ain't claiming it.
When I was mean and intimidating to my children because they wasn't doing well in school and I didn't help them with love.
Same thing I be saying all the time. Y'all be talking about two-parent households. Well, when the mom is stressed out and the dad is cheating, the kids can feel all of it. When the mom and dad are arguing, the kids can see it and feel it. When the dad isn't coming home or the mom isn't coming home or there's another person that snuck into the home, the children can feel the energy. I know how much you guys hate single mothers.
So I'll be over here dealing with my own condemnation, some of the choices that I've made that have caused, consequences that ain't wonderful. Be over here just, that will be all up in your mind.
The devil.
And are you actually going to get back out there and sing? Do anybody?
It's not the devil in your mind. It's your man. It's not the devil. It's not Satan, Lucifer, Babazar. It's not none of them. It is your man. It is your man or your woman that is causing you this great distress. And you can keep trying to shun the devil and rebuke the devil and talk this devil away all you want. But until you get rid of the person that is making you feel this amount of pain, you will have this problem for a very long time.
Hear you anymore? Do you even have a word from the Lord when the devil was just over here attacking and fighting? I was needing somebody else to pray.
I don't know. I feel bad for Tina. I do see some people kind of mocking her situation, but I'm worried for her because we kind of saw how she had a meltdown over her husband cheating and now he's walking away.
In this clip specifically, look at how she's looking at him. Just pay attention to that.
I can only imagine how much this hurts her because she really did not want to let him go for real. Even though she was mad, she was upset, she wasn't willing to leave. And looking at her situation, she definitely should have. I mean, she would have been spared a lot of heartache.
And she would have saved 12 years. 12 years she would have saved. This whole video, and again, shout out to Impressive, it's titled Erica Campbell Gets Backlash for Celebrating Her Marriage and Tina Campbell's Divorce News. Erica is getting backlash because her and her man are renewing their vows. They've been together for a very long time, and she just wanted to share that with the public. I say this all the time. First of all, what I want to share with my supporters is what I want to share with the people that have been with me through years. This is my page full of my supporters that care for me. Yes, of course, there's trolls and people who can't stand me, who want to hate watch. If that's how they get by their day, let them do it. But this is for the people that care for me. So if I have good news to share, I want to share it with my fans and my friends and my family, yes. I talk about this, and I haven't really touched on it like I really want to touch on it because I know the backlash I'm going to receive. And so I got to prepare myself for that type of shit. Sometimes you want to walk away from that friend that is being cheated on a million times. Sometimes you do. The honest feeling is sometimes you want to walk away from that friend that's in a domestic violence situation, an abusive relationship, that friend that's being verbally abused, right? Financially abused. Sometimes you want to walk away from them. That is an honest feeling. Sometimes it becomes so overwhelming and heartbreaking because you love that person. You knew who that person once was. You once saw their light, and now you're actively seeing it being dimmed. You're actively seeing the energy and the life being sucked out of that person, and sometimes it's too hard to bear. Another reason that you might want to walk away from a person like that, like your friend or your sister or somebody close to you, is because they don't listen when they're in that state. They'll push you away. They'll call you jealous. They'll say that you're upset because now they're finally happy, and you were cool when they were miserable, but now they're finally with a man. I get a lot of backlash for saying sometimes it's okay not to tell somebody that they're getting cheated on. I personally want to be told I'm being cheated on. And if it's my friend, best believe, and I know the information, best believe it's coming out. It's coming out. Hear ye, read all about it. However, but I understand why some women might feel like I can't tell Trisha or Barbara that her man is cheating because she's going to, distance herself from me. She's gonna not want to be my friend. There has been many of situations where I've told my friend, hey, this man is cheating on you. Hey, this is happening. Hey, he's disrespecting you. Hey, you shouldn't let anybody talk to you like that. And literally I've been like unfriended, like 2 days later, straight up. And it's like, talking to my other friends about it, they're like, yeah, well, some people need to vent. And this is an important tip or gem. Ask that person that's calling you with their issues. Ask them if they're wanting advice or if they're wanting to vent. If they want to vent, allow that as much as capacity as you have for that, allow it, right? 30 minutes, you got 45 minutes before your next load of laundry. All right, let me have it. Let her scream, let her cry, let her get it out because she needs to vent right now. And you know that she's not ready to get out of that relationship. It takes people sometimes, I think the national average is it takes a woman 7 times to get out of an abusive relationship. Y'all can fact check me on that. So yeah, right? It's hard. They turn on you. They get mad at you. They claim that you want him or that you want to be with him or that you're jealous. So now you've lost a friend because you were trying to help a friend. So it's just a very tricky situation. It's a very tricky situation because it involves emotions. It involves, your heart, your money, your life, your kids, your house. People seem to treat infidelity like it's somebody cursed you out, in traffic. And it's like, oh, I got so mad, but f them. No, your whole life is tied to that person. When you become married, you become one. And people seem to forget that fun fact all the time, and I don't know why. And so when one becomes two, you have to find out, what does that actually mean? Who am I without him? Who am I? What do I do without packing his lunch and and getting his stuff together and setting his appointments? And who am I without doing that for this person? Who am I without, cleaning the house and getting ready for Christmas because the kids are coming over? Who am I? Yeah, that's for you to decide. The bad news is you have to now find yourself. The good news is you get to find yourself. This new version of you gets to be whoever the she wants. She gets to be confident. She gets to explore. If she wants to travel, she gets to travel. If she wants to dress like this or do this, she can do it. She's a grown-ass woman, and she's free from the bullshit that she was tied into for so long. So yeah, bad news is it's over. Good news is it's over. God, it's over. So I don't think Erica Campbell should be facing any slack for, she's in love with her husband. People say it was bad timing. Comment down below if you feel that way, if you feel like it was bad timing. I don't. Even if it was 6 months after or a year after, somebody would have a problem with it. Now, damn it, if it's the same day, that's kind of crazy. I wonder if they're fighting. Okay, I'm tripping. I don't know if I would have done this on the same day as my, sister was announcing her breakup. I don't know if I would have done that, but hear me out here. I'll say this and let me know if I'm reaching. I always felt that there was an issue with men and women, but men specifically, because we're talking about a man in this situation who was overly sexual, had to have so much sex. And I know it's an addiction, right? Sometimes it's an addiction. They have a sex addiction, but when it's not, and they just want to have so much sex, a lot of the times it's, them covering for something. So hear me out. 8 years ago, Chronicle Speaks, and we are a big fan of Chronicle Speaks, made a video, and basically she was going over a situation that apparently happened 8 years ago. It says, man claims he's been seeing Tina Campbell's husband, Teddy. Couple responds. And so apparently when T.S. Madison and Kaya had their show together, the Queen's Court, they would go and talk about, pop culture news and social media news that was going on. And they were talking about Tina Campbell. Apparently Tina Campbell voted for Trump. Tina, are you MAGA? Tina, are you MAGA? Oh, so, T.S. had an issue with that. Of course, the Republican Party's against trans. So T.S. Madison had an issue with that. And so hear a little bit about this.
Wasn't ready. Well, T.S. Madison and Kaya have a really funny show where they give their weekly rendition of the People's Court. They pretty much read celebrities for filth and give their verdict on how they'll be sentenced. Well, on one of the most recent episodes, they talked about Miss Tina Campbell and what she thought about Donald Trump.
Tina, no, don't go nowhere. Look, I'm like, don't you go nowhere. The last person on the docket for tonight is Tina Campbell.
Well, Chad, after the reading of Miss Tina Campbell, honey, someone called in to let it be known that they knew something a little bit about Teddy, Tina's husband.
5100, what's the name, where you calling from, and what's your topic on tonight?
Yeah, what's up? I choose not to say where I'm from, but I got a confession to make. Theodore, I've been fucking with him since Soul Seekers. I used to be the guitar player.
Who, baby?
He told me his name was Theodore, but it's Teddy.
Oh, you done called my tea with Teddy Theodore.
Wait a minute, we need a little bit more than 40 seconds.
That ginger snap name Theodore.
We might need a little bit more than 40 seconds. Can you give us a little bit of rundown here on the Queen's Court?
I like how you said Theodore.
Sure. His name is Glendon Theodore Teddy Campbell, sir.
Yeah.
I met him when I was playing in with the Soul Seekers.
Soul Seekers.
Or whatever. And like I said, he told me his name was Theodore.
Theodore.
And I can give y'all more information, but I don't really want to do it live.
Oh, you know what? This is how we do at the Queen's Court. You want to give us some information. You don't want to do it on live. We're going to get all of that juicy tea.
Yikes.
Now, this is the group Soul Seekers that he was referring to. I don't know about y'all, but this picture gives me a little death row tease. It do, just a little bit, right?
Brother Warren and Brother Teddy, raise your hand, Campbell's boys. These are the husbands of Mary with the Soul Seekers.
The Soul Singers' lead vocalist was none other than Tina's husband, Teddy. The group consisted of Charlie Burrell, Gerald Haddon, Eric Seitz, John Smith, and Nassan Stewart. Now, this gentleman is saying that he met Teddy in the year 2000, which is the same year that Teddy married Tina. It's the same year also that the Soul Seekers was created. Other than Warren Campbell, I could only find one other guitarist in the group. Now, this can either be a bitter lover, someone trying to spread some nasty rumors, or someone that's after money. But either way, honey, this is not looking good. Now, we've all seen Tina lash out on him before. I can only imagine how she would lash out if this were true.
It was that mule, Paul. Old Joy, old Joy the mule, I tell you, I was out there trying to plow that Northfield, and the mule just went crazy.
Well, on Tina and Teddy's fan page, someone said this. Teddy and Tina, are you going to address the latest allegations about Teddy? There's a video. Not at all. We're public figures with a tore up past, plus a reality show that misconstrues our present by editing our lives to reflect what it was, not what it is. They believe that's what Black America wants to watch, so they, along with the rest of the controversial media-based outlet, feed y'all lies and y'all eat them. So I suppose those looking for ammunition to create the stories they want to believe. We'll just be over here living while all those special people keep watching, following, and talking. Life is too good and God is too good to focus on the dumb stuff. Girl, how do you say you're not going to answer, but then answer anyway, but then still don't really say much or nothing? All I got to say is if this man comes back with some receipts, run, Teddy, run for your life, go get some help. And for the church folks getting ready to come up in my comment section thinking y'all about to go off, honey, don't get mad at me. I ain't saying nothing bad about that lady's husband.
I'm not going to say that that is a true statement. We don't know. We don't know if it's been substantiated. We don't know. Again, how many times do we got to see something over and over again till finally we start to believe it? How many times do you have to see the same age-old story of the womanizer who can't stop having sex with all these women, who's addicted to sex outside of his marriage so much so that it's going to ruin his reputation, it's going to ruin his career, it's going to ruin his relationship with the children, it's going to ruin everything, yet he still takes the risk coming out and being gay. I'm not saying that this man is. I'm just saying we've seen it too many times because, you know, a couple of the comments again on Instagram was like, he hates her. Yeah. When a man shows you this, you know, there's been a lot of talk of like, can you still love somebody if you cheat? A lot of men and women will say yes because they cheat. They don't want to stop cheating. They don't want to see the wrong in cheating. They don't want to believe everything that I've just read off that, you know, does to a person that's cheated on. They don't want to believe that. So they'll say, yes, I can still love someone and cheat. However, I'll say this. You can't love me the way I want to be loved if you're disrespecting me. There are plenty of women and men out here that'll accept the bare minimum, and that's worse than the bare minimum. That's hell level of relationship, just to say that they're in a relationship. So I'll say this. Plenty of people are okay with being loved that way. That's not the way you can love me. That isn't the way. You're not going to talk to me crazy. You're not going to cheat on me. I'm not going to feel threatened by you. I'm not going to feel like you're jealous of me. I'm not going to feel intimidated by you. I'm not going to be in competition with you when we're supposed to be a team. No. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. Let me know how you felt about this below. Now, I will say that there is a certain video here.
Now, we definitely can't say that the reason for the poor ticket sales is because sis can't sing, because I ain't gonna lie. Sis can sing the pages out of a Bible, but sis been running that mouth, and now that mouth done wrote a check that booty can't carry. Tina was headlining an It's Still Personal tour, which featured acts like Teddy Campbell, Erica Campbell, Jacqueline Carr, The Walls Group, Jermaine Dolly, and it was hosted by her sister Thomasina Gugu Atkins. So sis definitely had the capabilities of securing the bag, and from the looks of the show so far, the show was actually pretty good. But we know that all means nothing when you've lost some of your fan base. So in Tina's most recent Instagram post, she said, "I'd like to say thank you to all that have purchased tickets for the It's Still Personal tour. Our hope is that all who have attended have been thoroughly blessed. We are grateful for those who are planning to attend, but our overall ticket sales haven't shown that we have the support that we need to continue our tour at this time. We're convinced that many more would love the opportunity to attend this praise-filled, faith-filled, entertaining worship experience. So we have decided to give ourselves time to reach all the people and bring the amazing tour back in spring of 2018. We hope to see you then." Tina Campbell and the G Tree creative staff. So prior to all of this tour talk, Tina was getting dragged by her baby hairs on Twitter for saying the following: "I was faced with two presidential candidates that I really did not approve of, and so I have to find something, a commonality with one of them that would make me feel like if I have to vote, I should utilize my right to vote. Since I don't prefer either of them, what can I find that would make me vote? Some of Donald Trump's views on Christianity, honestly, is what caused me to vote for him. Many of the decisions that he has made afterwards, I have not been in agreement with at all, which I wasn't in agreement with my last president that I voted for. But however, as a Christian, my perspective is to pray for the president, to not use my social platform or other platforms to try to destroy this man, because at the end of the day, he still represents the country that I live in."
Yes, he does.
So after being drugged on just about every social media platform she could be found on, Tina then appeared on The Real.
I chose based on my faith. I didn't really like either one of the candidates, if I could just be honest. I choose to give any more of my time to anybody who has an opinion about my right to vote and to who I vote for and what behind it. Not at all. So what's the next question?
Okay. I grabbed your little apple head and got to slicing and dicing and then kicking and
Okay, Jen. Well, they say that your attitude determines your altitude, and I definitely think that the attitude that Tina took with this certain situation, part of the reason why her ticket sales aren't doing so good. She received a lot of backlash for her most recent statements and word on the curbs that she wasn't even invited to Oprah's Gospel Sunday brunch. But guess whose invite definitely didn't get lost in the mail? I think sis might need her just a little piece of humble pie with a little topping called Shut Up.
Shut up.
Well, once again, Twitter is definitely having a field day at her expense. But what I need you guys to do is tell me what you think about
Tina. I'm not going to say Tina is MAGA, but apparently, she's conservative. And of course, what we've all seen, it's just the time old situation where it's a Christian conservative who believes that they're so traditional, who believes that, marriage is sacred, yet their husband runs the streets and puts his penis everywhere. We can't focus on that because we need to focus on the gays. We need to focus on the gays. Now, if my husband ends up being gay, again, we need to focus on the blacks. I have had enough. Let me know what you thought about this commentary in this episode down below. I will meet you down in the comments. If you like me or my commentary, please support this channel by going down to KitaSaid.com and buying a Growing Through a journal or a Balancing My Bullshit Plural. Y'all, we're dropping the new collection soon. Yes! Thank you, Jesus! And until next time, I will hallelujah, get that Jezebel spirit up off ya. Holler.